For Crema Media's Polity, I'm Sane Dhlamini, researcher and analyst. Professor Raymond Suttner joins me to discuss the threat to democracy, part 1, on the public protector. Welcome, Professor.
Thank you.
So was it not difficult for anyone to follow on Thuli Madonsela as public protector in light of her having performed very well during her tenure? Is it not mainly this shadow now that we see the incompetence that has led to attacks on the current public protector, Busisiwe Mkhwebane?
I think that insofar as people sort of many people worship Thuli Madonsela, it is hard for someone to come into that office and carve out their own role and have it appreciated as conforming to what is required for the job, because the previous public protector was seen as having been decisive in Kandla and a number of other issues, so that she was revered in the eyes of many people, and it was hard for Mkhwebane to come in. But I think that she herself, Mkhwebane, did some things that invited scrutiny and criticism. The well-known thing, which I mentioned in my article, is that when she came into the Public Protector's office, it was set for ENCA, and she changed it to the Gupta-owned ANN7. Also, the extent, the judicial review of a number of her findings have been scathing, and it seems that the findings on Pillay, Gordhan, probably Ramaphosa as well, are going to lead to similar findings and also similar cost orders that she should pay. So I don't think that can be blamed on the shadow hanging over of the career of the previous public protector being seen as illustrious.
And can it be seriously argued that the public protector has assisted state capture?
Well, I try to argue. See, Gordhan, I think, argues that in his affidavit. What I did is I treated it objectively and subjectively. At an objective level, whatever her intentions may have been, by attempting to disable Ramaphosa insofar as he was committed to clean government, and Gordhan insofar as he is the main instrument as Minister of Public Enterprises in cleaning up the SOEs that were previously involved in wholesale looting of the country. Insofar as you try to disable those people, it is an impediment to clean government, it's an impediment to ending state capture, and the first ones to benefit would not be some technical legal celebration by some people, but the state capturers themselves. But whether she intended that or not doesn't follow from what is objectively the case. But some of the remarks she has made seems to suggest that she has been very determined to focus on people like Gordhan, Pillay, and this thing of the so-called rogue unit, it's been around for very, very long. Most of the people who advanced it have retracted or apologized or compensated with millions of money in the case of KPMG auditors. So that, first of all, she's consciously raised something on which the evidence is open to very serious doubts in regard to the pension payout and re-employment of Pillay. Before approving this, Gordhan got 6 different opinions, legal opinions as well as experts on the public service, and they all were unanimous. In fact, there was an opinion in SARS that it was legal, and they tried to suppress that opinion. So also I think, you can say it's her lawyers, but the thing is she not choosing lawyers and saying to them, I want you to do this, that and the other, and trying to get them to get a particular result? That seems to be the case to me.
And lastly, Raymond, are you sure that the public protector is wrong in law?
Well, I do think she's wrong in law, in that there is no law that says that only the state's security agency can conduct any function of intelligence. They're the only ones who can deal with state security, but there is no bar on other people acquiring information, and it's essential for the functions of SARS that they try to uncover information about improper transactions, fraud, all these things. And in order to do that, you have to gather intelligence about people's financial records, about people's financial practices, the transactions that they get involved in. And I'm pretty sure that that one is not correct in law. Just as I said before, the balance of evidence in regard to Pilley's pension seems to suggest that there's nothing wrong in law. But there have been legal opinions from people of the stature of Wim Trengove, SC. Now, Trengove, I would be very worried if I were advocate Mkhwebane, who has very little legal experience, if I were to range myself against Trengove, I would think twice. Also, she ranges herself against Judge Nugent and other people. So that is my opinion.
Thank you, Raymond.
Thanks.
That was researcher and analyst Professor Raymond Suttner speaking to Crima Media's Polity about the threats to democracy part 1 on the public protector.